Hey, good afternoon. My name is Brad Pauquette. I am the director and lead teacher at the School of Kingdom Writers. So, just taking some time in the afternoons over the summer to address some really common questions that I get. And one of the most common questions that I see is, how long should it take me to write a novel? And this is a great question. And at first, I want to say, well, it depends. But it really doesn't. It can really be broken down pretty easily. So, I meet two kinds of writers. One is a writer that completes a novel in 8 months or less, and the second is a writer who takes years to complete their novel draft. And I really see almost zero people between those two poles. There are either people that they know what their idea is, they understand it, and they knock it out and they dig in and they get it done. Or there are people that kind of pick away a little at a time until it's done, and that takes a long, long time. And so there's so much value to momentum, to the idea of staying consistent with your manuscript, of spending enough time each day and through the week digging into it so that you're staying current with it. When your manuscript drags on and on, you spend a lot of time just trying to relearn things that you already wrote, right? You have to look back because you don't remember somebody's name, or you don't remember what day of the week it is, or some other detail. So there's so much value to establishing and obtaining momentum. So typically with the students that I work with, I like to see them writing, 1,000 words per hour. And at first that seems like a lot, but with a little bit of practice, you can absolutely get there. I have one client who can sit down and write 3,000 or 4,000 words in an hour. He's a machine. He just sits down and pounds through a manuscript, and he can knock out, a whole novel or a whole self-help book or whatever he's working on in a matter of a few weeks. And that's insane. But he'll be the first to tell you that the quality at that rate of speed isn't very good, right? He's just kind of writing things as they come to mind. And so, he and I spend a lot of time together kind of knocking things out after he's spent that time at that rate. And then we see a lot of people at a lower level who are just, creeping along at 100 or 200 words an hour. However, 1,000 words is really a kind of a balance point where you're moving quickly enough that things kind of flow, right? There's kind of a natural energy to your writing, but it's not so fast where it's just, drivel coming out of your mouth. So 1,000 words per hour is what we shoot for, and a typical first-time author's book should be 50,000 to 80,000 words. So we can do some simple math there, and if you're performing at 1,000 words an hour, it should take you 50 to 80 hours to write a book at that point. And of course, that would be a best case scenario. And so realistically, maybe it'll take you twice that long. Maybe 100 hours is a viable benchmark for how much time you're going to put into a first draft for your novel. And so the question then becomes, how much can you write per week? And how long is it going to take you to get to that 100 hours? But like I mentioned in the beginning, it seems to me that, and this is based on experience, I don't know the psychology behind it, but some people dig in and they say, no, I'm going to put, all my spare time, this is going to be my only hobby until it's done. So I'm going to put, 6-10 hours a week into this thing, and I'm going to knock it out in a few months. Or there are people that say, well, I'm kind of going to pick away at it in my spare time, and then that project just drags on and on and on, and maybe you lose track of it for weeks at a time or even months, and then you come back and you've got to refresh yourself and things like that. So there's so much value to momentum. The other thing that helps authors to really get this done is having a plan. And a lot of authors say, I don't want to have a plan, I'm a pantser. I want to write by the seat of my pants. And I totally understand that. However, I think, once you see what I'm talking about, you'll see that there's so much value in a plan, and it's not nearly as constricting as you expect, and it helps you to actually get this done. A lot of authors, they're picking away at 100 or 200 words an hour because they're sitting down in front of their computer and they're saying, all right, what happens next? And in any creative or managerial process, decision-making is the biggest time suck there is, right? Nothing takes more time than making decisions. Nothing takes more time, especially than when you feel like you need to be creative for those decisions, and you have to be in the mood for those decisions. So having a plan eliminates that decision-making from your screen time that's contributing to this amount of time that it's going to take to write your novel. When you come into that novel manuscript with a plan and you know what direction you're going before your butt ever hits the chair, then you can sit down and you can make the words count. When you sit down and have to decide, that's when you get so bogged down in the process. So if you have a plan, 50 to 100 hours, you can write a novel manuscript. And, reasonably, if you can put 4 hours a week into this, let's say, then you're looking at 25 weeks. You're looking at 6 months to completely write a novel manuscript. And that momentum is going to be so effective for you. Not only are you going to finish it faster, but you're going to have a better manuscript because you're able to consistently work through it and knock it out. So that's where I start. We have our Arche Year program coming up soon, and that's going to help you in a number of ways to get to this goal. First of all, it's going to give you a coach. It's going to give you some accountability as far as getting to this number. It's also going to give you a ton of strategies and a ton of practice so that you can sit down and begin to write at a professional rate, where you're no longer just picking away at things and hoping for the best, but you know what you're there to do, you know how you're going to do it, and you sit down and you execute your plan. And the second thing is that Arche Year is going to help you to develop a plan that actually works. It's going to give you a plan that gives you enough parameters so that you can sit down and you already know where the story is going, but it gives you enough freedom so that you do have room to play. You have room to let the characters kind of develop themselves and see where things go. But that plan is going to be instrumental in helping you to get through this. So, as a general question, writing a novel should take you 8 months or less if you want to do it really well, and it should take 100 hours to do. But that's contingent on having your head in the right space and knowing what you're doing before you get started. So we'd love to have you in our Arche Year program. It starts on September 10th. It's completely free. There is a paid cohort option, which also comes with some one-on-one consultation, small group support, developmental editing, so that you're really ready to go and to start seeking publishing opportunities. When you're done, it also gives you that added accountability. But check it out, sokw.org/Arche Year. The link is also in the comments on this video. If you have any questions, please reach out. And if you have any questions for these videos, please let me know. Right now we're working off some questions that our intern, Maddie, put together. She did an awesome job putting them together. But if you have any other questions that we can address, please let us know, and we'll do our best to work it into a future video. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.